So, hello everyone. So, to continue where we stopped, next we have only the plates logic, and it is very similar to the profiles logic. First, in the defaults, you can specify the default sheet width and the default sheet length, and also the default curve. This is gonna be used as a gap between each plate from the four sides, and to give you like a representation of how the application nest or optimize these plates. So for each plate here, it has like the thickness and the length or width, whatever, like one dimension, and the second dimension in the length here. So the app has like three different dimensions of each plate, the minimum of which is the thickness, so this is okay, and the rest, whether it is the width or length, this is like a rectangular plate. The same for this, like it treats this as a rectangle, not as like a polygon or whatever. So this is like the width and this is the length, as if this is a closed like a rectangle, not like this. Okay, this is for simplicity's sake, and like this to get like an approximate like nesting of the plate. If you need like an exact like nesting of the plates, you would have to export like the step or the XF files of the plates and go to another application to nest them as exactly as they look, or use an application of the CNC machine itself. So whatever. Okay, this is how the application works. So right now we have to press or check box for plates, and when you check it, it takes some time to load. And right here it says it found 111 row profiles grouped into 8 options. That means like the specific thicknesses that we found are 8. So if you press here, select profile, you are gonna find 8 different thickness profiles. Each one of them contains many number of plates, but like they share the same thickness. Okay, so similarly to the profiles logic, if you wanna nest like one plate, you can select it from here, and also if you want to nest all plates, you can select it multiple profiles, and then this is disabled again, and if you press load, then you have all plates thickness. If you select all and load, here you still select like the material. Okay, zero density, I don't want it, but for A6 this is probably an error, like it should be A36, but okay. And all phases, okay. And then the stock sheet configuration form opens up. This is the form for the stock sheets. Each one has like 8 millimeters, 10 millimeters, 12 millimeters. This is the thickness of each blade thickness, each unique blade thickness found. And then it tells you an approximate like a width minimum that for this plate. So you have two dimensions, this dimension and this dimension. Like you have this and this. Okay, so the minimum width, like if you have a stock plate that its width is less than this, you can't nest it. You can't, if you rotate it or not, this is bigger than the plate itself, the stock plate itself. So it tells you here you have to pick a minimum width bigger than this. So the width here it is gonna be fine as long as it is bigger than 380. Of course, the lens is available to you and it is probably not gonna be less than this. And for the lens, it is gonna be fine as long as it is also longer than the W minimum. But this is probably be the case for all of us. So what we care about is the width. We need it to be bigger than this value, okay? So here, for the sake of this video, I will use 1.5 meters width for all stock plate or for all stock sheet sizes, and then press OK. Also note that these values, if you change it, the app remembers it for the same thickness. Like if you face a same thickness like 15, again, it remembers the last input you modified here for this plate, okay? Additionally, similar with profiles, if you have like multiple stock lenses, here we might have like one additional width and length, like a different stock size. So if you want to add it, you can press the add button, and here it adds one more value. You can choose the thickness that you wanna get, that you need to add this value. For example, I want for the 15mm thickness, I want to add another stock sheet size, and then here I'm gonna enter 1 meters by 6 meters and press OK. Then it loaded all bars, each with like the numbering is a single part of each plate, and the width, the profile, and the length. Okay, here you can from this stock settings, this is not gonna be used anymore here because this is for profiles only, and this is also, but the curve width is gonna be used as a gap between plates. Okay, so here we leave it at enhanced also, and we press next. It takes some time, but it says total sheets are 13 and average utilization is 59. Of course, because we used a very large like stock sheet plate. But for some like this is okay. And this is okay. It had to use an entire sheet for only this. We can for this use like less length or whatever, but okay. This is also a visualization only, and we removed the pie chart here for the plates in order to be able to like fill this screen, okay? And here this have a very bad utilization, but okay. We can export. We can also export a DXF and Excel and PDF, just like for profiles. Here we have the summaries for each thickness, like the files it created, each file for the thickness and the model name. Okay, here let's open the summary, the entire summary first. Here it says the entire number of plates that it got from Tekla, and then the total sheets used with different thicknesses, of course, but their number are 13 sheets, and total plate area and total sheet area, and material utilization and waste, invitation time. Okay, here is a pie chart for used and waste, and here is for each thickness how many sheets is needed for how many plates. As you can see, the 10mm thickness has a lot of plates in Tekla, so this has a good utilization perhaps. Okay, here a detailed breakdown. The only difference is we added the sheet area and the used area in order if you wanted to calculate the utilization yourself. Okay, and then we have a plate list. So here the part mark, width, length, thickness, quantity, and area and phase And also we added a sheet so we know of which sheet this is gonna be cut. Of course, for each different thickness, like here, this is thickness 8, it is gonna be cut from sheet 1, and for the thickness 10, it is gonna be cut from sheet 1 also, but sheet 1 in the 8 thickness, in the 10 millimeter thickness, not the 8. So these are not the same sheet. Okay, this is all. Of course, here we don't have a remnants or usable offcuts. We can now open like the 10 millimeters. Okay, as we find it has the most plates. Okay, here the thickness, total plates, this is from Tekla, and then the total sheets, this is how many sheets we need to purchase, and then the pie chart and utilization. Here you are gonna see this sheet 1, its dimension is 1.5 meters by 6 meters, and we need one of it, and the plates it gonna cut 195, and it has a utilization of 95%. So add here for this, like this is probably not gonna be useful, but it is more data, like each part mark, this is the number of plate, like ID of plate, it is not something from Tekla. This is the part mark from Tekla for each single plate, and width and length taken out from Tekla also for each sheet. This is all one sheet, and here is another one. Of course, if you can concentrate, like you can see here some numbers on the plates, but for this very small plates we can't add these numbers, it is gonna be like very small. And here is the second plate, and the third plate, which is very like has a lot of waste. And then we have the plate list, same part mark, width, length, quantity, area, and phase. And for the sheet, we here for this it has like 8 quantities, so there are 8 of this plate, so all of this are gonna be cut from the single sheet, sheet number 1. Okay, so we can also, let's see, Excel, and the XF. Okay, let's see Excel first, the summary, and let's open. Okay, here the summary. For now, like this should be a pie chart, but it's not working. We will fix it later. For now, this is a breakdown of all thickness and utilization and how many sheets we need to purchase for each one of them, and total plate, total sheets, the same summary as the PDF. So here we have the entire plates list, and you can get from here the length and width and thickness for all plates. So if you gonna test it and try a different nesting application for plates to see if you can have a better utilization, it's fine, you should test it. And here, if you open the 10 millimeters Excel file, here we have the summary, or we can add a pie chart here later. And then here we have the sheet layout. It is similar to the one in the PDF, but of course it's not like 100% accurate, as you have to stick to the cell size, but it gives like some visualization. And this for sheet 1. Okay, let's expand this for sheet 1, we need one sheet, and the size of this sheet is this, and the plates and the utilization. similar to the Excel, the PDF. Here also. And this is with a very bad utilization. Okay, let's go to the DXF. So this is the DXF. At the bottom we have the summary, how many sheets, stock sheets we need, and how many plates we are nested, and utilization and area, whatever. And here we have, like, for sheet 1, this is dimension of sheet 1 and the utilization, and also, like, this is the width of the sheet, 1.5 meters, and this is the length, 6 meters, and this is for each plate, like, this is the single part number, and L the length of this plate. So this is rotated, so the bigger value here is this. This is 708. Where is it? 708. And for each, like, plate, we have the length. So this is the length, this is the length, and all of them are to scale. So this is not gonna be accurate as the exact shape of the plate, but this will give you an approximate idea of how many stock sheets you are gonna need for each stock, for each thickness of each plate. Okay, so now this is for multiple plates, and for single plate you can cancel this and choose whatever plate you want, and also you can select the plate from, like, Tekla model. If you select by selection and check the plates checkbox, and then press load. Okay, it recognizes this is a single plate that is 15 millimeters thickness. Okay, you can input the stock width and length. Okay, and then here this is, you can nest it, and also you can separate by phase and by holes. I don't know if separation by holes always work, but, like, try it. It is still under development, and we will add more features in the next update. Also, for parts, like, in Tekla Structures, you can create plates by contour plate, by this, like a regular contour plate, or you can import a beam and give it the profile BL or BLT or whatever. So both are considered plate and are gonna be nested in the plate section from this app. So if you have, for example, like a solid bar like this is a plate 50 by 50, and it is drawn as a column, but this is a plate, so it recognizes this as a plate. But in order to nest it, we need, like, this is gonna be only one dimensional nesting. Like, we are gonna buy a bar that is 50 by 50 in thickness. This is not gonna be cut from a stock sheet plate. So in order to fix this, you can select it, or even when selecting the entire profiles, but whatever, you can press here load. Okay, this in this stock sheet configuration, and also if you select it all, if you selected all profiles, it is still gonna get like this is a plate, well, not a profile. Okay, so here this is how you get around this issue. First, here the 8 millimeters like that we used before, and the width and length, and probably that was not used correctly, but whatever, can remove it. Okay, here the 50 millimeters width and 50 millimeters thickness. So this we can input here. The width is also 50 millimeter. So this is defining a bar, a solid bar that has a 50 millimeter by 50 millimeter, and its length is 6 meters. You can modify this length, and then here if you press OK and you press next, OK, export, OK, open folder. Then if you open the 50 millimeter thickness plate, you are gonna see it like this. So this is exactly like profile nesting, like one-dimensional nesting. So in order to use it like this, you have to add this curve width as 0, as if it is like 3 millimeters, then 3 millimeters right and left. Then you need this stock to be at least 56 to fit the 50 millimeter width solid bar. Okay, so take caution when doing this. Okay, so this is it. So stay tuned, and we are gonna add more features in the future, and we will keep this playlist updated once we add more features and more videos to introduce the new features and more updates. And it is always nice to hear back from you. If you have some feedback, or if you have some improvements or issues you faced with the application, please contact me or email me. I will leave the email down below. And thank you for watching.